All right, so welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going to be looking at some of the really fascinating stuff that's been happening in AI, tech, and science. It feels like every week there's some kind of major breakthrough or development, and we've been sifting through a mountain of information to try to bring you the most surprising and significant developments.
It really does. I mean, it's pretty wild. We see these huge advancements in AI, new hardware, and innovative applications in everything from like cybersecurity to the courtroom, and then those ripple effects. They kind of flow outward, and we see them in the broader tech landscape. With these really major acquisitions and product launches. And meanwhile, science just keeps pushing forward, and we see like these breakthroughs in our understanding of space, human health, and it's really an exciting time.
Yeah, it's a lot to cover. But why don't we kick things off with AI? I mean, it really feels like that's, moving at warp speed. And NVIDIA's recent GTC event, I think, gave us a little bit of a glimpse into where things are going with their next-gen AI infrastructure. So they announced these Rubin AI chips, which are expected to hit the market sometime in late 2026. And they're promising, I mean, this is pretty mind-boggling, 50 PFLOPs of FP4 performance.
Wow.
That's 50 quadrillion floating point operations per second. And it's using this specific data format that isn't optimized for AI. They also unveiled the Vera CPU, which is their own custom ARM-based processor.
Right, and I think that's a really key move, that shift to custom ARM cores. It allows NVIDIA to kind of, really dive deep and fine-tune the CPU to work perfectly with their GPUs. And so that could lead to really big gains in efficiency for AI workloads. And thinking about the scale here, it's pretty amazing. The power consumption projections for these Rubin systems are huge. Some racks could draw out to 600 kilowatts. It really highlights the immense energy demands that this type of future AI is going to require.
Yeah, it's a lot of power. So speaking of major players, Google made a really big splash recently with a huge acquisition. They bought Wiz for $32 billion.
Wow.
And that's their biggest acquisition ever. And, it's all about really bolstering Google Cloud security. They're really laser focused on security, especially for companies that are using multiple cloud providers, what we call multi-cloud environments.
It really shows, how important cloud security is. It's become this really crucial area. I mean, Wiz is a big player in this space, and Google's move really, really kind of underscores just how important it is to provide this really comprehensive, rock-solid security across these different cloud platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for something completely different, the Arizona Supreme Court did something that's kind of interesting, and that's they're introducing AI avatars to deliver court rulings.
Okay.
So these avatars, they have names, Victoria and Daniel, and it's a first for a U.S. state court. And their whole goal here is to try to make information more accessible and just deliver it more efficiently. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's a really clear signal that the public sector is really starting to explore, how AI can be used to kind of, benefit everyone and improve that access to information. Using AI to spread court rulings could really streamline that whole process and potentially, help them reach more people in a really effective way. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. The entertainment industry is in a really interesting position when it comes to AI. On the one hand, you have, a lot of concerns about copyright, especially when it comes to AI training and, how it's using creative works. But on the other hand, you see studios really embracing AI and integrating it into things like visual effects. I mean, we're seeing people like Robert Legato, who's just like a legend in the industry, join companies like Stability AI. And even in theme park robotics, we're seeing NVIDIA and Disney and Google DeepMind all kind of collaborating in this space.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how the entertainment world is navigating that kind of dual nature of AI. It's this really powerful tool, but there's also the need to, to protect those creative rights. But at the same time, there's this incredible potential for innovation, both in creating new content and creating really immersive and engaging experiences. So it's a delicate balance.
It is. And it's not just the digital world that's being impacted by AI. NVIDIA, they unveiled this really interesting humanoid robot called the 1X EO Gamma. And it's powered by their GR0T AI model. And we're seeing a lot of investment in robotics from pretty much all the major players, Google, OpenAI, Meta, Amazon, they're all kind of jumping into this space.
That convergence of, really advanced AI with a sophisticated robotics hardware, I mean, it's clearly a key trend. And when you look at models like GR00T, which is specifically designed for humanoid robots, I mean, it really suggests that we could be on the cusp of seeing, much more capable robots, in industries and maybe even in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We're also seeing AI kind of pop up everywhere, all over the place. Like, it's helping to detect scams on Android phones. It's being used by the UK Tech Secretary. It's even being incorporated into the U.S. Space Force's strategy. It's really becoming a widespread phenomenon.
It is. The range of AI applications across all these different sectors really does highlight just how transformative this technology can be. I mean, it's moving beyond the labs and becoming this really practical tool that's being applied in so many different fields.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about some of other big things happening in the tech world. So we've seen some really big investments, companies like Icertis and Carivo. We've seen new hardware releases from companies like Fujifilm and Nokia. And even Tesla is recalling a pretty large number of their Cybertrucks right now.
Yeah, it seems like all segments of the tech industry are really humming, right? From enterprise software to consumer electronics, even automotive. It's a dynamic market and it's constantly changing. I mean, the Cybertruck recall is a good example of that because it just goes to show, even with all the hype, how difficult it can be to, bring a brand new technology to mass production.
It's true. So last but not least, let's touch on some really cool science news. So this instrument, the Dark Energy Spectroscopic Instrument, they call it DSI, has created the largest 3D map of the universe ever made. And this is going to help us hopefully understand dark energy a little bit better. Scientists have also made another amazing discovery. They've detected oxygen in the most distant galaxy ever observed,
Wow.
which is it's changing our understanding of how galaxies formed in the early universe. And then the Euclid mission has just released its first data, which is giving us some new insights into what they call the dark universe.
It's amazing. I mean, these cosmological findings are really pushing the boundaries of our knowledge about, the universe and how it all works. And that discovery of oxygen so early in the universe's history, that's a huge surprise. And it's probably going to lead to a lot of revisions in how we think galaxies formed and evolved.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. We've also seen some really exciting developments in the health world, including an anti-amyloid drug that's showing real promise in possibly preventing Alzheimer's. We're getting a better understanding of our own adaptive immune system, which could lead to better, more effective vaccines. And there's even a drug that's showing a lot of promise for stroke rehabilitation in animal studies.
These advancements are incredible. They offer real hope for tackling some really, really tough health challenges. I mean, any progress we can make in areas like Alzheimer's or stroke, those could have a huge impact, not just for individuals, but, for society as a whole. It's a really important area of research.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fascinating to me how interconnected all of this is. I mean, AI is pushing technology forward. Technology is enabling all these amazing scientific discoveries. And those discoveries are, then inspiring new technologies. It's this really cool cycle.
It's true, there's a real synergy between these fields. I mean, progress in one area very often just fuels breakthroughs in the others. It's really an amazing time to be following all of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive here, I think one thing is really clear, and that's we are in a period of such rapid and interconnected progress across AI, technology, and science, and the potential for, huge sweeping change is enormous.
It is, and it's kind of hard to grasp, right? I mean, it makes you wonder, with all these rapid advancements happening in so many fields, what single development, whether it's a AI or technology or even science, what do you think will have the most profound impact on your life in the next decade, and why? It's a question worth thinking about.
It is. It is.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's our deep dive for today.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening, everyone.